Guys, we made something today that we learned from Chef Jean-Pierre. He made potato Anna. We made Baga Anna. We took left out some of the excess cheese that he used, and we used rutabaga instead of potatoes. And we shaved off quite a bit of calories and carbs. Doesn't that look good? It's gonna look good. And taste good. Stay tuned to see the video and see how I make it.
Hi, this is Terry. I've lost 180 pounds with keto, carnivore, and counting calories. Now I'm on a mission to improve the health of my heart.
To get this started, I need to cut off both ends of my rutabaga, and then we're going to get it peeled. I saw this recipe on Chef Jean-Pierre. He used potatoes, and we are going to use rutabaga. So now I've got the ends cut off, so I'm going to switch over to my peeler. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to peel the outer peeling off of my rutabaga. I'm going to be slicing it, so even though I'm going to be cooking it, I'm going to be slicing it. So since I'm not going to be, since I'm going to be using it a specific way, otherwise I could microwave it. And I know, you can microwave it and then peel it. But for now, this is what I'm going to do because of the way I'm going to use it later. So I'm going to get this peeled and I will be back. So once it's peeled, like I said, peeling it is the easy part. Once it's peeled, I'm going to do something specific with it. This is the part that's difficult. I have used my regular knife to cut it in half before, but it's just so much easier this way. So I'm going to be quiet and let you watch. Okay, so if you have trouble cutting it, get you a meat cleaver and a hammer, easy peasy. Now let me wash this off, I'll be right back. So I'm going to be using my slicer. I need it to fit in my slicer, so I guess I'm just going to cut this in half. And that should fit. Yep, that'll fit. If that one fits, I'm sure this one will fit. Yep. So those fit. What about you? You'll have to be cut in half, I'm sure. Let's see. Yep. You. Yep. This one's definitely going to have to be cut in half, but I'm not sure. Let's see something here. That one won't be going in there, but there we go. Let's see if you'll fit. Yep. What about you? And I'm going to have to take off this corner here off the side. There we go. Alright, so now I've sliced up rutabaga before and it works really well. So let me get this all put together and then we'll get it sliced. Alright, let's see how this is going to work. Got this in. It's a little too wide. Let me try this way. About you, little feller. See how you'll do. I have tried, for the record, I have tried making, like dehydrating them or making them in potato chips. No, it's not the same. I just thought I'd throw that out there. It's definitely not the same. All right. Well, you get the idea, so I'm going to keep going and then I'll come back after I get some more of it sliced up. So next up, I'm just going to heat up my pan. I just want to melt this butter and make sure that it's all over the bottom of my skillet. So I'm not trying to brown the butter, not trying to cook the butter. I just want to make sure that there is melted butter in the bottom of my skillet and along the edges of the skillet. So I'm just heating it up to warm it up so that way whenever we turn it upside down it comes out easy. I probably should use a fork for this, but it's a little too late now. So I just need it enough to be all over, and there we go. That's good enough. So now I'm going to take this pat of butter back and I'm going to turn it off and let it cool for just a couple minutes. Alright, I think I got most things set up here for how I want it to be. And this is how, I'm doing it my way. You know, everybody does their own kind of thing. You know, I've kind of got my own little way of doing things anyway. So now we had that butter melted in there. So now, whenever I watched him do it, he laid it all out real nice and fancy. But mine are cut differently than his. But what he did do is he did a layer of the potatoes. But I wish I could have cut them like, I wish I would have used the thing, he used a mandolin. Had I used one, it might have worked out better, but that's all right. We know I just kind of do my own thing and have to experiment and see what I think. But he did a layer. Now again, he used potatoes and I'm using my rutabaga. He did a layer of potatoes, and then on top of that layer of potatoes, he brushed some butter. So what I did, I melted 40 grams of butter, and I put in some, I put in some garlic down in there. And so it'll be kind of like garlic butter. So he did this. Now he had a different kind of cheese and stuff, but you know, like I said, we're doing it my way. See if I can get a few of these holes kind of filled in with the bigger piece. There we go. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to do that. Then I'm going to sprinkle some, so that Crave all day that I use, I emptied out one of my other containers. So I'm going to sprinkle some of this on here. After I emptied out this container, I put my Crave in here. And what I've done is I've weighed everything before I started, like this Parmesan cheese. I weighed it out, so that way when it's done, I'll reweigh it and see how much the weight is after I pulled everything out. I did the same thing with the rutabaga. I put the rutabaga on the scale in this container, and then I'm going to weigh this container when it's all done. And then that way I'll know how much to plug into a recipe, so I can figure out what my macros will be, and it helps me figure out how many servings I want it to be. So, like I said, if I would have done these into bigger chunks, this would be a whole lot better, but that's all right. It'll be, so let it be what it'll be. Don't think too much and go crazy over you and me. It's just a little crush, not like I faint every time we touch. All right, some Crave all day. I have been wanting this stuff in a shaker can. They've done their packaging differently now, so I'm pretty sure that it's a shaker container now. I got mine on Amazon. Actually, the first time I got it was from Gina. And she used it and liked it, and she shared that and a few other of their seasonings with me. It's a particular brand that she found, and so anyway, it's really, really yummy. So, now, there we go. Now I'm just going to brush the rest of some more butter on here. And again, this is garlic butter. So, just kind of think of whatever you'd want on your potato type thing. You could, if he actually put a couple sprigs of, I think, rosemary down first. But again, his looked nicer when it was done. Now I'm going to sprinkle some. And I could probably use other cheese, but this is what I have out. And so that's what I'm using. Oh my goodness, it would help to have my oven on. I'll put my oven on 350. I don't know what his oven was on, but we'll put it on 350. And what we'll do is whenever I come in and these rutabagas are forkable and, you know, pliable like au gratin type potatoes, that's when we know they're done. So anyway, I'll keep track of the time and I'll let you all know the amounts that I used, along with I do know this was 47 grams of butter. So I'll keep track of all the other amounts and we'll break it down into portions when we're all done. We're cooking in the oven at 350. This is not cooking on top of my stove. This is just up here because this is an easy place to go on and put it all together. So now it's going to go in the oven. Okay, it has just gone off that it's 350. I'm putting it in. I'm setting a timer for 30 minutes and we'll check it in 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. Let's take a look. See if I can poke it with the fork. Nope. Still too stiff for what I like. So, yep. Definitely needs to go longer. So I can already tell mine is still moving. He used like a lot of the shredded cheese, and that is what bound it together. I didn't do that. I used, you know, the shake cheese. So I guess if you really want to stick together right, you should use the sprinkle cheese, or shredded cheese, but you know, this will work just fine for me. So I'm going to let it go 20 more minutes and then we'll check back. Starting to turn brown a little bit. They're definitely softer. Yeah, I think they're done. So now, listen. He turned his upside down and they looked really nice. But because I did not put cheese in between mine to hold the layers together, mine's going to have to be scooped out. And that's okay. But I still want to let it cool down before I do anything else. So I'm going to turn off the thing, turn off the oven, and let it cool down for about 20 minutes. So then that way I can figure it out. And I will work on the macros. I forgot to do that part. So mine is not going to work the same way his did. Again, I didn't use enough cheese and I have space between the layers. But I still want to give you the premise of what he did. Now he used a bigger plate. I don't have a bigger plate. But this is how he did it. He kind of lined it up. And lined it up. And he flipped it over. Well, not too bad. I mean, it's off kilter some. Hang on. There we go. Let's see, with him, the way he had his all layered up so pretty, you could see there was like he had put some actual, some nice, herbs on before he put it to, like on the bottom of the pan. And he didn't use a cast iron skillet either. He used a metal pan. Evidently there's some pans that are I said metal. Cast iron's metal. I'm so silly sometimes. Anyway, so, but then when he flipped it over, because of the way he had them kind of intermingled and layered, it stayed really nice. But anyway, that still looks pretty. And then and I'm gonna let it cool down, and then I divided it up into 4 servings for my macros, and we'll do that whenever it cools. So here's how it looks. I've already pulled one out, and we're gonna portion these out into, there'll be 4 servings, but let's give it a taste and then I'll portion it out. Now again, remember, you can use like regular shredded cheese, something that's got a little, it's bonding, something that's going to bind it all together, and yours won't fall apart like this. But it's going to taste just as good in my opinion. Don't matter to me. I don't care if it falls apart or not. Yeah, buddy. Good stuff. It tastes good with the cheese, I know. But we don't need the cheese. We don't need that extra fat and calories. 4 servings. So each serving is 169 calories. Remember, this is a side dish, not your main. 169 calories, 4.5 protein, 11.3 total carbs, or 8.3 net carbs, and 11 fat. The fat came out of the butter. Of course, the carbs came out of the rutabaga and the probably and the cheese. But anyway, yeah. So really good, something fun to make. And like I said, if you want to make it look fancy, please go back and watch Chef Jean-Pierre's recipe or his video. He made it the right way and the fancy way. But I just wanted to try it, so try the flavor. So, all right. If I ever do it again, when I do it again, I will get my mandolin and I will make long pieces just like he did, so that way they can kind of stack out like he did. And I would try the cheese just for fun. But there you go. All right. Bye.